So, thank you. But let's go to questions. Let's do question and answer. I much prefer that. Otherwise, I'm afraid I'll be boring you or whatever. Yes, sir.
North Korea submarines and EMPs.
North Korean submarines and EMPs, yes. But do remember what we saw take off from the coast of California, what was it, 4 years ago? Our government reassured us that was an optical illusion. Do you remember? It kind of looked like an SLBM to me, submarine launched solid fuel ballistic missile takeoff, only 21 miles off the coast of California. But my government has told me, don't worry, it was just simply an optical illusion all along. So I'm not really worried about that. Yeah, North Korea. The story. Newt was Speaker of the House. I was working on my doctoral dissertation. This was in the summer of '95. And in the evening when I got done working at the archives, I'd walk up to Capitol Hill and we'd get together for dinner. And, no, this was in '94, excuse me, before he became Speaker. And we were sitting there eating cold hamburgers, and the phone rings, and it's a top staffer at the White House. And Newt asked the rest of the staff to leave. I got up to leave. He said, no, sit down. I want you to listen to this. And it turned into a chew-out session for 20 minutes where he was actually screaming at the guy. And what he was saying was, you guys are clueless. The North Koreans are going to acquire nuclear weapons, and you're going to allow them to do it. And if it suddenly goes to an immediate war, the 30,000 Americans positioned in South Korea at that time will be dead. And how are you going to explain that one away? And the response back from the top staffer in the White House, oh, we're never going to let the North Koreans get nuclear weapons. That was in 1994. Where are we now? Who has nuclear weapons? Oh, we're never going to let Iran get nuclear weapons. Yeah, right. Yeah, they got them. No, Iran's got them. Lord knows who else has them. I spoke with somebody who was involved. Remember, we had cooperation with the former Soviet Union for a while with disarming and stepping down. And the question became, what are the Soviets going to do with all their warheads that are just sitting there? They had over 20,000, maybe 30,000. Remember, we made an agreement. If Ukraine, now an independent nation, would give us all 500 of its nukes, we would forever, in perpetuity, guarantee the territorial integrity of all of Ukraine. Remember, we promised them that. And I spoke some years ago with a gentleman who was part of that commission that was inspecting Russian sites for the launch systems that were being disabled and where were the warheads going. And he said then, without my prompting, he said, you know what keeps me up awake at night? There's somewhere between 50 to 500 weapons that their accountants can't tell us where they are. They don't know where they are. It was typical communist bookkeeping. So that's another scenario. There's at least some old Soviet warheads. Now the detonating systems are most likely not effective. You can still do something very dirty with them. And they're just out there floating. But we don't talk about that because we've been told we're safe. Is that it? You all depressed? Do you want to go home? Am I scaring you enough?